All right, so there's two major reasons that I have to drop this video today. Number one being all the mainstream media is not covering it. New York Times, CNN, Washington Post, MSNBC, NPR, USA Today, Reuters, Axios, ABC, and even PBS, of course, none of them are covering this story. It's only getting local news coverage, and it's really mind-boggling that that is the only coverage it is getting. So I'm here to cover this story. And number two is because in order for Black people to actually do well in this country and get over all of our hurdles, we have to call this stuff out. We have to hold each other accountable, and there seems to be a huge accountability issue in the Black community. So let's get into it. This story is absolutely bananas. No, I truly believe that one of the reasons Black people are where we are today is because of people like this. This is Rev Ray Christman on X, and he says, just because he stabbed a white woman on the train does not give y'all the right to call him the N-word in the comments. And I would say in this situation, it is absolutely justified to drop the N-bomb. Let's keep it real here. When somebody loses their life to a violent crime, calling somebody names is out of the question. You can say whatever you want. I mean, come on. That is ridiculous. Instead of addressing the actual issue and the problem from the individual that did this crime, he's pointing out the people in the comment section calling him an N-word. Unbelievable.
9:46 p.m. You'll notice right away, this looks like any other ride aboard the light rail. People are doing what they do these days, keeping to themselves, scrolling on their phones as they ride along. The man accused in the killing, DeCarlos Brown, is in the red hoodies on the right side of your screen. He appears to be...
Of course, his name is DeCarlos. DeCarlos? Look, I know now that I should stay away from anybody named anything. DeAngelo, DeCarlos, DeAvion, DeMarlian, anything. That is crazy. D with an apostrophe.
Maybe a little emotional, perhaps a little agitated, but nothing disruptive. There's nothing that gets anyone's attention. About 30 seconds later,
that would have got my attention because you got to be aware of your surroundings. This dude coming on there with the hood on and dreads. Look, man. Look. Profiling will save your life. It is what it is. You got to be able to sense energy. And if something feels off, something's probably off.
Iryna Zarutska boards. She's wearing a hat and a t-shirt from a pizzeria, and she sits in the row in front of Brown. She has earbuds in and is looking at her phone. She too is just minding her own business.
Everything's wrong about this, which it shouldn't be. She should be able to get on the train and have her headphones in and be able to do this, not worried about some nigga named DeCarlos coming from behind her and stabbing her in the neck. But apparently she should have sat next to one of these other people. My goodness.
Long for around 4 minutes with nothing unusual happening. Then around 9:50 p.m., Brown reaches into a pocket. We've zoomed in on it here. He pulls out a pocket knife. No one notices a thing. Seconds later, he would stand up, and from behind, unprovoked, as we stop the video, he would stab the young woman several times. She had no chance to defend herself. The attack was over in seconds, and when it was over, Brown walked through the train attempting to get off. Few passengers, if any, at first realized what had happened, until they noticed drops of blood on the floor. 90 seconds after the attack, a bystander rushes down to begin lending aid to Zarutska. She would die from her injuries. 30 seconds later, 9:52 p.m., 6 minutes into the video, Brown leaves the light rail.
The video here shows us just how quickly things happened and how difficult it would have been to prevent once he got on the train. And that is an important part to all of this. From what we've been told, Brown never should have been on the train. Authorities tell WBTV he did not buy a ticket. CAT says it is working on ways to keep fare skippers off mass transit.
You think for 1 minute that people paying fares is going to prevent this from happening? It is not. There is a huge mental health crisis in the Black community. That is one issue. And I don't know what could cause somebody to do something crazy like this unless they're mentally unstable. He obviously didn't know who this woman was. She was just a random innocent target. And from what I've heard, she was here from Ukraine seeking a better life. That is absolutely insane. You go to avoid war and missiles and all of the destruction and death that's going on in your home country, only to come here and lose your life to some dreadhead dude named DeCarlos. What is life? That is insane. That is absolute insanity. And we have to call out the governors and mayors. The mayor tried to brush it off and was shunning people for sharing the video and all of that sort of stuff. When in reality, this is what happens when people are soft on crime. This guy has been in and out of jail. He's been let out time after time after time again. His arrest history is insane. And they let him out time after time again. This is what happens when you're soft on crime. The governors and people that are writing these laws and the mayors are the enablers. They're the enabler parents that keep giving their kids the drugs and everything and the money to go buy drugs so they'll never heal, essentially causing the destruction of them and the people around them. That's exactly what this is. Yo, as a black man, I know I have to call this sort of stuff out because otherwise we're never going to heal. We're never going to make it anywhere unless we call each other out. It's the truth. This is terrible. It cannot keep happening. And we have to start cleaning this sort of thing up ourselves. Because man, oh man, if these judges and people are just going to let these people out, I mean, we got a big problem on our hands. How many people are out there like this, just walking around with a crazy criminal record? Man, look, hopefully they will not take it lightly on this person and they will finally put him in jail and keep him there where he belongs. But at the end of the day, until we face this issue about the ridiculous amount of mental health issues in the black community and the ridiculous amount of violent history in the black community and figure out a way to tackle it head on, we're going to keep running into this issue over and over again. You guys drop a comment, let me know your thoughts down below. This is absolutely terrible, but hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But I don't know how we're going to get there. Let me know if you guys have any ideas. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.